Suicide. Think. Suicides have become more common in today's society. No one thinks about the consequences of it. People commit suicide for trivial reasons. How to prevent these? Even if a human lifespan is 100 years, the average lifespan is 60 to 65 years. To make this life enjoyable, we should practice the good things told by our elders. The elders say that Saddannam Moota. That is, if we practice Saddannam every morning in childhood, the heat in our body will be removed and good energy and abilities will come to the body. Similarly, if we practice the good advice of our elders, we will do good deeds instead of doing bad deeds in life. This will bring benefits. The strong person in the world is not someone who has a good job, good reputation, beauty, intelligence, money, and fame. The person who is brave is the strong one. Only because of courage does a person enjoy the full benefits of life. Even if the sky breaks and falls to the ground, the brave person will stand firm in any situation and live forever. One dies only once in life. But cowards, thoughtless, overly angry, and weak-minded people die in the middle without experiencing life to the fullest. The innocent, who take life as a challenge, cannot complete the journey of life. Our elders say that suicide is a great sin. Because God has given us a lifespan of 100 years, we must experience some pleasures and hardships in life. We provide for our family members. It is God's will that we help some people. If you suddenly leave the body without experiencing the hardships that you should experience, not God's will, then after death, we will have to face more hardships in the next life. The reason is that we have not experienced the hardships in this life. How many people, including our wives and children, suffer because of us, and the suffering they all have experienced, and the sins we have committed in our previous lives, together with the total suffering and pain we have suffered in the next life. We are born as a very poor person or a very poor person. Therefore, we do not have the power to leave life in the middle. If we feed some programs to a robot, it will run accordingly. We are also a useful tool in the hands of God to help others. Our ancestors also talked about the pain experienced at the time of death. The pain experienced at the time of our death is as much as if a lakh scorpions were stung at once. We have experienced that pain in a few thousand births. That is why everyone is afraid of death. Some people commit suicide for such small reasons as failing in 10th standard, not writing the degree exam correctly, not getting a job, not getting married even after reaching the age being scolded by their mother or being beaten by their teacher. Exams are not life. Even those who have not studied anything live well. They commit suicide in various ways, thinking that this life is useless for a small reason. Some people commit suicide by falling under a train, jumping from a building, jumping into water, burning themselves with kerosene, hanging themselves, and so on. This is the act of cowards who think about good and bad without thinking, and the unruly act of impulsive people. Sometimes the mind gets very difficult. We suffer a lot. We should swallow the pain and endure the difficulty. A person should not do anything without thinking due to temporary excitement. We should think about how to deal with the difficulty that comes to us. Moreover, we should not take hasty decisions immediately. When difficulties arise, we should ask a person with these three qualities for advice. Whoever has goodness, experience, and good education, we should ask that person for advice for the solution to the difficulties. Only then will we find the right solution. We should do as they say. If we cannot control our anger and get into temporary excitement, the first thing we do is commit suicide. Or we kill the person who caused our troubles. Through this, we have to spend our whole life in prison without any happiness or joy. There is no big difference in the result whether we die or kill. If we do neither of these, the person who is highly agitated will either have a stroke, a heart attack, become insane, or flee to distant places. Like a sea surge, when we are very angry, anger comes. That big wave of anger lasts for a short time. When we are angry, we should not take any hasty decision. We can think slowly about those who have harmed us and then take revenge. To stop the anger, we should count the numbers from 1 to 100 or adopt an indifferent attitude. At that time of anger, the great tree of our wisdom is uprooted with our fingers. That means our erudition, intelligence, and wisdom do not work. When we get angry, the brain needs to think more, so it sends a message to the heart to supply more oxygen. The heart starts working harder than usual. The breathing process speeds up. The heart reduces the amount of blood sent to the rest of the body and distributes more blood to the brain. The heart receives a message from the brain that it needs more oxygen, and it needs more oxygen. It pumps at a higher speed again. In such a situation, after a while, if it exceeds a certain level, the heart valve collapses and death occurs. Paralysis occurs, madness occurs, and the person commits suicide or murder due to his anger. That is why our ancestors said that his anger is his enemy. Some people make small reasons big. In their eyes, those are the biggest reasons. They think that they are the ones who work the hardest and are the unluckiest in the world. That is why they cannot bear even the small difficulties that come in childhood and try to die. Such people should be taught by their teachers at a young age what is good and what is bad. If a person wants to become a good citizen, he just needs to know a proverb like the Sumati Shatakam and its meanings. His life will improve. Each proverb or saying is the essence of the life of a great person of the past. 100 proverbs are the essence of the lives of 100 great people for a person to improve. Our ancestors who knew this wrote them down in verses. They used to make us memorize them. These are great personality development topics, like saying, if you are stubborn, stop being stubborn. Along with good education, we learn how to get along with anyone in society through good behavior in the classroom. By learning proverbs and practicing them in life, we overcome difficulties and gain happiness. We follow traffic rules to reach our destination in the city. Similarly, our proverbs contain all the guidelines on how to get along with whom in the journey of life, how to behave in any situation, what to do at any age, etc. Even if we do not know the stories and names of those great men, their principles of life guide us. By practicing them, we do not have to go through the hardships they went through. We get the benefits they got. Always, if a person thinks carefully before taking a decision, he will benefit. Taking hasty decisions will not only cause suffering to himself, but also to his family members and friends. If we do not have the power to create a living being, we do not have the power to destroy it in the middle. Do suffering, difficulties, insults, and ridicule come not to humans, but to the trees in the forest? Therefore, in every work, we should think carefully and make a decision. If we do not know, we should ask the elders for advice. Hasty decisions will not work. We should take every problem as a challenge with courage. We should think why I cannot solve this. We should not run away from the problem. We should live well, let others live. We should be happy and make others happy. Everyone should remember one thing. We should know that we cannot achieve anything by dying. Overall, in human life, if we help others to the extent that we can, we gain some satisfaction and self-confidence. Therefore, suicide is a great sin.